Quite often my friends ask me, Zach, how do you get your airfares or train fares as cheap as you do? In this video, I'll explain the ins and outs of finding cheap fares. Stick around. This is the first in a new series of videos on my channel to share advice with you, be it finding cheap flights, or what to do, or what you're entitled to, and what airlines, rail and bus companies are required to do in various situations on your travels. I know I do travel quite a lot just for the sheer heck of things, and I know a lot of you guys have a little less freedom, so to speak, in terms of timings than I do, but here's my best advice how to get as cheap a fare as possible. There are so many ways to get cheap flights. One way is to book early, another is to fly early in the day or late at night. These not so desirable times are often cheaper. As an example, I will show you what I do when booking. For example, if I wanted to go to Melbourne from Brisbane, I would open Webjet to get an idea of the fares, find a time and fare that I like, and then book directly through the airline. So let's take this Qantas flight for an example. It's a time that I like and a reasonable fare. So I take a mental note of the time/flight number to use later when using the Airlines app or website. Now, let's come home. I like this Virgin Australia flight. Again, good time and a great fare. And now, for the sake of fairness, I'm going to show an example of flying down with Virgin and back with Qantas. Now, as before, I am taking note of the times and flight numbers to use in the Airlines apps. And now I'm in VA's app, looking for the flights I'm interested in. Found it. And it is cheaper than Webjet showed. And the return flight is the same way. This is usually the case. Furthermore, there is no Webjet booking fee if you do it this way. Just be aware, however, there usually is a credit card fee on most airlines. And now to Qantas. Here it is. And again, cheaper than Webjet. The same goes for the return flight. Now, another good way of saving is to use points if you're a member of an airline's loyalty program. Both Qantas and VA have them, and I often use my points to get a cheaper fare. Now, another good way you can save is if, like me, you live close to multiple airports. I live in between Brisbane and the Gold Coast airports, so just search flights from both airports if both serve to your destination. There are so many more ways to save that I just can't cover in one video. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and as always, safe travels.